Alright lads, so the 1000-year Blood War banner is making a return, the Lie Nano banner, and alongside that, they are actually going to banner with other 1000-year Blood War characters. Lately, I'm not going to lie, the reruns of manga characters have actually all been very, very good in terms of fillers. For the most part, the last 3 or so manga characters that have rerun have all been in banners with other manga characters, so it's actually pretty cool. Now, this banner right here is going to be dropping tomorrow morning, and it is here until the 2nd of next month. So, you know what that means? Instantly, right off the bat, lads, don't pull on this banner just yet. Do the 50 orb multi. As you can see, it's going to cost you 50 orbs, 3% rate for the first step. Do that tomorrow morning, but save your orbs for the end of month banner. And there's also a very good chance that 1000-year Blood around 14 does return sometime next month. So that obviously means with all these very good trap and bait banners coming out, Spirit Are Forever With You is very, very likely to be end of month. Whether that's, you know, the Beyond Bankai, Gin, Kisuke, Yamamoto, Shinsui, Jushiro, Mayuri, all those other characters, the original design to Soripus, or it's going to be some of the other, you know, novel exclusive characters like Roka, like Kenpachi, Uryu even, Don Kanoji, Kuryoshiki, Azushiro. Spirit Are Forever With You is definitely going to be one of the more hype banners going forward into the rest of the year of this game, right? So you have to make the decision right now or at the end of the week, what do you want to pull on? Do you want to pull on something like this, or do you want to pull for the new characters, the more exciting characters? But it also depends where you are at. Now, this banner isn't really a bad banner. The fillers are great. Unfortunately, Tojiro is missing. It would have been very, very good if Bianca wasn't here and Tojiro was instead. But it is nice to see round 1 is making a small kind of return. And as always with these kind of banners, the only bad thing is the somewhat iffy rate. It starts at 3% with 50 orbs, then another 3%, 150 orbs, 4%, 200 orbs, 6%, 250, and then 250 with an 8% rate. I've mentioned this multiple times, when you do decide to do multiple steps on this banner, you're normally going to get a bunch of 4 stars on these like 15 odd steps, and it's the other steps that are going to mainly give you the 5 stars. Now, I was very fortunate enough to get the character I wanted in around 11 or so steps when I actually did pull on a banner like this, you know, the Can't Field one a couple of days ago, and I was lucky enough to get Tokinada on the 11th step, but it can be a bit of a rip. At the same time, if you end up doing a lot of steps on this banner, there's a very, very high chance you walk away with one of these characters 5-5. Normally, from my experience, when I go deep on a banner like this, and I'm talking like 20 plus multis, I believe the rate-wise, obviously, it can be hit or miss, right? But if you end up doing all steps on this banner, you should, you know, if you get a bit unlucky, it might be a different story, but you should walk away with everyone here, and at least 1 or 2 characters 5-5, and with a lineup like this, it's not really that bad. So, I'm going to say right now, it's not a bad banner to summon on, it is worth summoning on, but it comes down to if you want the characters and if you have a lot of orbs to spare. I know a lot of people in this game are more excited about new characters more so than rerun characters. Me, for example, I actually am missing Lie and I actually am missing Grammy, and I do want to get them, but not at this current time. I have 3,500 orbs, which is a pretty decent amount of orbs, but I'm saving for the more hype new characters like Spirit Are Forever With You, and that's what I'd recommend most people do too. So this banner is again coming out on the 24th. I'd recommend mostly everyone save till the 28th, 27th, whenever the banner does get announced, and then make your educated decision if you want to pull on this or if you want to pull on the other banner. Now, that being said, let's talk about the characters before we do end the video, starting off with Nano. So Nano is a pretty fun character. She's nothing too special though, but she can be quite useful. Now, the fact that she does have an Espada killer does hurt her quite a bit for normal play, especially if you aren't the biggest Nano fan. Like, I'm never going to use her for normal PvE play, but where she is useful is in GQ, and that's where she's mainly going to be used. So if you aren't the biggest Nano fan, if you aren't an Nano simp, you're probably never going to use this character unless you're using her for the hard difficulty of GQ, because she is pretty much the best character to use for that specific week, the Espada hard week, if you need a boost character, and she can actually do that job quite well. In fact, given her level 10 attack isn't a bad thing if you only decide to use her in GQ, and I might actually do that because it's not a bad option. So she's a ranged character. Her first strong attack is a full screen SA with Havoc, by the way, so it is a 1200 SA free, very actually good SA. SA2 is a boost around 600 AoE, and the SA1 is a 3000 net beam. So she has the kit, she has an Espada killer, she has a pretty high berserker, just 20% actually, she has a boost and a shield, and she inflicts paralysis on everything. Like, she's not a bad character, it just comes down to if you actually want to use her, and me, I'm never going to use her outside of GQ. mainly because I have better characters, but she's not a bad option, especially if you are a Nano fan. If you are a Nano fan, if you're a fan of anyone in this banner, you don't need me to tell you to summon or not. You should be doing that anyway, because they're your favorite characters, right? But I'm just trying to say, like, the use with each character. Nano, in my opinion, for mostly everyone watching this video, unless you are a massive Nano fan, you're mainly only ever going to use her in the hard difficulty of GQ, and that's not a bad thing, because there's a lot of characters out there that you don't use anything. So the fact that she has a niche and she fulfills it very, very well in GQ is actually a very good thing. After that, we have Grammy. Now, Grammy, I'm kind of salty I don't have him. He's actually a very fun character. Like, the main thing about this character is that he just has very, very good visuals. His voice actor's on point. His model as well looks very detailed. Like, I actually haven't even he's been in the game for a while now, and it doesn't even feel like it because I unfortunately don't have him. Now, Grammy, when he came out, he got a lot of hate just because of his first strong attack, and he's also an Aaroniero killer when we already had Candice, and Candice is also in this banner. So, if you need a mind Aaroniero killer, Grammy and or Candice are very good characters to fulfill that, right? They both do the job very, very well. Now, Grammy's whole gimmick is that he has a SA2, which is a 960, SA3 is 1200 full screen, and his SA1 is the worst part about his kit. I don't personally think it's that big of a deal. Honestly, it's not. He burns, he lacerates, he has the team heal, and he is also immune to everything. So he's actually a pretty fun and unique character. Like, there's really nothing bad about him. Some would say his SA1 is bad. It's not that big of a deal. He can clear content. It's Grammy. If you like the character, then go for him. Then we have Lie, the sniper. Now, this character definitely should have had a transfer mechanic, honestly, personally, but he's not bad. Again, one of the better power characters in the game. I would personally say he's the third best power character now, only third to 5th anniversary Ichigo and the 10 years later Rukia. Both of them are more useful thanks to their status elements and the other gimmicks that they do have, but this character, he might not be the most appealing character to players in terms of, like, visuals. Like, he isn't anything too amazing, but what he has is a very, very good kit. He basically has the best strong attacks in the game, 3000 net beam, 960 SA2. He has a 40% berserker, 12% recharge, frenzy, havoc, sprinter +1, and guard break, and hit enemies. Nothing is stopping this character outside of the fact they have a shield or they have range resistance. That's the only way this character isn't going to be hitting you. He's a very fun and fast character, but he isn't, like, needed, in my opinion, if that kind of makes sense. There's so many good sniper killers out there that are power. Now, he is definitely the better one. He's probably the best one out there. But if you have Bianca and you have Shinji, then you really don't need him. The only reason why you should be summoning for him is if he's one of your favorite characters, if you just want to play as him. If you get him, though, don't get me wrong, he's a very good character, but there's also a lot of other substitutes out there, if that kind of makes sense. After that, we have Arskin, and it's very unfortunate what happened to this character. So look at this man's model. He's a very, like, it's Arskin. Everyone's been asking for him, right? So this character, I'm sorry about that, by the way. So this character is a PvP character, and he was unfortunately the one that released right before they started to introduce invincibility characters. So as someone that has this character max transcended and don't even use him, and the fact that he has a squad 0 killer means that you can't even use him in GQ. Sure, you can bring him into PvE, but at the same time there's just way better characters. Like, you're better off just bringing anyone else other than him. So it's very unfortunate what has happened to Arskin. He's kind of fell off. He's still very useful in PvP. You can use him, but, like, unless you've got him duped out, and I have him max transcend and I don't even use him. Like, he's okay. He was good. He was the best PP character when he came out, but unfortunately with the invincibility characters, he's just fallen off. And I mean, the sad thing is like, Drugum basically just collapsed him, right? He can't stand against Drugum. A lot of characters can't, but even him, he's a tech character, he can't stand against Drugum. And then even someone like me that has him max transcended, I can't even put him against Tsukishima to tank, because Tsukishima has a stun ritter killer. So it really does suck. This character, like, he can be used in PvP. He's up there as one of the better ones, but, like, he's not the best out there, and it's really unfortunate what's happened to him. If you have him, you might use him for a bit. I guess, like, his only use right now for me personally is if he ever is a bonus character in epic raids. Like, I have to just say this, the fact, lads, he's good. He's not a bad character. You can use him, you can have fun, but I think he's actually one of the worst characters in this banner, unfortunately. After that, we have Bambietta. SA1 is that kind of pushback SA, not a bad strong attack whatsoever. SA2 is 960, SA3 is 1200 full screen. Burn on everything, she does more damage to burned enemies. Not a bad character. Like, she's just good. Like, there's really nothing bad about her. It's Bambietta 2. Her visuals are actually very, very nice. I love the pink aura that she has on, like the pinkish red aura. Her full screen strong attack basically covers the entire screen. I love the visuals of this character. Unfortunately, I don't use her as much as I used to, and that's mainly because I have a 5th anniversary Bianca max transcended. But don't get me wrong, she's very, very good, very useful, and if she's someone you want, then go for it. After that, we have Candice, one of the best main characters in the game. She's a melee character with the Aaroniero killer, paralysis and everything, weakened defense, which was a lot better back when she first came out, but now everyone can get it. But even then, she can also get it again, and you can double stack it to do even more damage if you do want to main her in GQ, for example, or even in epic raids when she is a bonus. She's very good. SA1 is a lunge, SA2 960, SA3 full screen, 1200 radius, paralysis and everything, debilitator, havoc. She's just very, very good. Extra flash step too. You can give her long stride. You can do a lot of things with this character. She's very fun. Definitely one of the best main characters in the game. Definitely worth summoning for. And if you get her, congratulations. And then after that, we have the round 1 character starting off with Bianca. Basically a collector's item at this point. He can be a useful link as he is a full stamp character. It's very unfortunate what's also happened to this character because he was never good, right? He didn't have frenzy. It was very, very bad for him because of that, and it kind of hurt him quite a bit, especially nowadays. Now, the one silver lining about this character is that he had bombardment. He was a full stamp character, and I believe, does he have weakened defense? He has weakened defense. He was one of the best nukes, one of the best characters to use for GQ, but then unfortunately they introduced the hard difficulty and then nerfed characters like this, so he was never that good when he first came out, and then he became one of the better Guildcrest characters when people started finding out what the meta was with just nuking very, very hard with your soul bomb, especially if you had this character 5-5, and then they basically nerfed him again, and now he's pretty much not usable whatsoever, unless you are a massive Bianca fan. Even then, just use 5th anniversary Bianca. Just, like, there's really no reason to use this character. He's kind of trash at this point, and he's mainly just going to be a collector's item. Sergeant, another round 1 character, basically a collector's item at this point. You can use him for the hard difficulty of GQ if you don't have better options, but yeah, he's just bad now. Like, he's just not that good, but his resurrection can save him. Unlike Bianca, unfortunately, Bianca is probably not even going to get friends with his resurrection whenever that does happen because they've now delayed it, but he was fun when he came out, he was good when he came out, but time has just not been good for the Sergeant, so unfortunately, he's mainly going to be a collector's item. In fact, I sold my duped out Sergeant because I don't need dupes of him. I had him 4-5, I think, and then I sold that one for a 1 out of 5 just to get the trans points because, yeah, he's just not that good anymore, but he's kind of cool, it's Sergeant. And then the last character to talk about is the Shinsui. Definitely way more usable compared to the Sergeant and also with Bianca. Like, if someone joins my lobby with Shinsui, especially duped out, not really a bad thing, I wouldn't complain. So Shinsui can be used, again, more dupes the better, because he does obviously lack the extra damage that all these new characters do have, and his SA2 can be a bit gimmicky. It's basically a shockwave attack where the closer you are to an enemy, if they can't get pushed back, so let's say for example a co-op boss, epic raid boss, GQ boss, or if you paralyze them first by someone else maybe doing that, you can do a lot of nasty damage with that SA2. His resurrection can definitely save him if they give him, you know, maybe Havoc, maybe give him a bit of Berserker, maybe give him Recharge. He can definitely be saved. Unlike the Sergeant, unlike the Bianca, they ain't getting saved even with their resurrections. But Shinsui can be kind of like an investment. If you pull him now, maybe when he gets resurrected in the future, he might receive a very good upgrade. Who knows? But he's definitely way more usable. Still, in my opinion, a collector's item, but can be useful. So yeah, overall lads, this banner is pretty good, and it's definitely worth summoning on, but it comes down to if you are someone that wants to summon on it. Again, do the first step tomorrow morning, wait till the end of the month announcement, and then decide if you want to pull on this banner. But the characters here are all pretty useful, maybe outside of the Sergeant and the Bianca. You can definitely use all of them, you can have fun with all of them, even the Sergeant and Bianca, but just depends on what kind of player you actually are. That being said, that was the video. Hope you guys did enjoy it. In the comments below, let me know if you are pulling on this banner. I'm going to be doing the first step, and I'm chilling on it. Even though I really do want Lie and Grammy, now is not a good time to be summoning on banners like this when I just dropped 2k the other day, and I want to spend all my orbs for end of month when it should be Spirits Are Fair with you. Hope you guys did enjoy it, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.